Hello folks, and welcome to another Workshop Wednesday with Vintage Automobilia. This week we've had a few little things going on here. You might notice there's some space behind me. That's because a couple of pumps have gone out to their new home. A great collection. We've also had a few signs arrive, a few tins. We're going to look today at cleaning up an enamel sign. We're going to show you some more techniques and products that we use and how to clean an enamel sign. It's not a be-all and end-all. There's lots of different methods people use. This is just a little look into how we do it and some products that we found effective. We know we've briefly looked at this in other videos, and I'm sure we will again in the future, but this video is dedicated to that today. So come with me, I'll show you the sign. Let's take a look and see what we can do with it. So here we have Pratt's High Test petrol and oil sign. Lovely deco styled enamel sign. Double-sided flange sign. Unfortunately, the other side is a little bit worse for wear. What a shame that is. It's lost a lot of enamel there. But this side's not too bad. Perfectly readable, but really dirty. So we're going to have a good look at this one and see if we can clean it up and get some colour really popping back into this. Now, it's not too much of a problem, that damage on the other side. It's a real shame, obviously, from a collector's point of view, but say you wanted to put this up on the wall like that, if you mounted it in the right way, in a corner perhaps, it wouldn't be too bad. You'd see the good side and it would look fine. So you might remember from our last cleaning video, we like to use a few different products. There's many different things you can use. I particularly like to use Automobilia Direct. Today we're going to use a bit of citrus wash here, which is just a general all-purpose cleaner and degreaser. We use a traffic film remover is another term as well. This is non-acidic as such. It has a slight citrusiness to it, a slight acidity, but it's not caustic. We do use some heavier grade AutoSmart products, which are professional range products that really we wouldn't recommend using unless you've had previous experience of those, but it will eat into your paint, so you have to be very careful whatever you use. Aim for something non-acidic, non-caustic. You don't want to cause any damage to paintwork or enamel on a tin or a sign. So we've got our citrus wash, all-purpose cleaner. Dilute up to 1 to 100 for light cleaning. You can also use it fairly neat. We're going to use it with our trusty really fine grade wire wool as well, just to agitate the surface, to get into that grime and dirt. Now, a lot of this is just dirt. As you'll see here, it's just dirt, general dust. Looks like it's been buried almost for a while. But then you also get this black on enamel signs as well. Now, the best way I can describe this, like a carbon deposit almost. It's sort of a heavy black film that is built up over time, and you can only remove it by agitating it. You need something on there to just gently rub it away. You won't manage to do that with a polish. So first things first, let's get a little bit of, this is just water in a bottle. Spray a bit of that on. Next we're going to go for our degreaser here, the citrus wash. Give a nice misting all over the sign. Now the water just helps dilute this a little bit because we don't want it too strong. Now we need some of our wire wool. We'll only take a little bit off this, we don't need an awful lot. So there we go, I just pulled a little bit off there. And gently, remember how we've done this before, it's gentle. You're not scrubbing away like mad. You're just agitating the surface, just to work the degreaser in, let that do its job. You want gloves on obviously because this is wire wool, you don't want metal splinters. Safety first and all that. And you can see that foaming up a bit, doing its job. Now let's pick an area like this corner. And I'm starting to work a little bit harder now, just to get that surface film off. I want to get back to the actual colour, back to the enamel. We don't want to damage the gloss of the enamel, but we want to get that carbon deposit build up off of the surface. Now we've got a bit of cement there as well. You can see there, there's a bit there, black, and just see where it's come off there. There we go. So that's starting to work. I'm starting to put a little bit more pressure on now with the wire wool. Again, we don't want to scratch the surface, we don't want to damage the surface. That's why we use it lubricated. Don't use it dry, don't use a coarse grade, very fine. All you're doing is working into that carbon deposit and trying to remove it from the surface without damaging the glossy glass surface. It's also why we use a degreaser, because that will work in to the dirt and lift it, basically just break it down, but it just requires that little bit more. So the inside of this flange here should be white enamel, and you can see at the moment it just looks black. Right, I've swapped over to some blue nitrile gloves now, just because my hands are getting a bit damp and I don't want to get any chemicals all over my hands. Like I said, this is non-caustic, but still, safety first. Really see the colour of that water now on the top. It's really starting to look pretty dirty there. That's all coming off of this sign. A simple wash doesn't really work with these. You do need to get in there and give them a bit more of a clean up. Obviously they've had years and years. This is coming up for 100 years of dirt on this. Right, another bit there, because that's really starting to break up now. You can see what we started with. Give it a little top up. Let's just give this a quick wipe off. We'll see what we've got so far. Look at that flange in there. That's come up nicely. So you can see the corner there where we've been rubbing the corner and in the edge of the flange, but we've still got some dirt in here that we need to clean off. You can see the difference in the colour of the writing on the high test there. It's upside down, I know, I'm afraid, but I can put you back there. And it's the right way around, look at that. So, you get back in there and just give it a little scrub. And there we are. The dirt is gone, and we've got this lovely yellow and orange and red border showing up. So this is starting to look really good now. Just needs a little bit more cleaning, so we'll repeat the process and try again. So this is the sort of thing that cleaning an enamel sign can reveal. We've actually just found the date there. I know it's upside down, but maker's mark there as 2/30. So we now know this is February 1930 was when this enamel sign was made. All that was hiding underneath the dirt here, just on this bottom corner there. How amazing is that? Back with my trusty scraper now. We've got a few little spots of concrete that have splashed onto this sign, one of which you can see here. We're just going to use the scraper to gently take those off of the surface. There we go. It's not stuck on too well, which was good. We'll go over the whole surface of the sign just to make sure there's nothing else on there. A couple of bits there, look. And a couple of bits up here. Just a bit of water there to dilute it now. We will give it a wash off in a minute anyway, just to make sure there's nothing left on the surface. And there we go, colour's really coming out nicely now. So now that that's done, we're going to go over the surface and give it a polish. Back to my Autobright Direct polishes here. This is a compound polish, it's a sort of medium one, and we have a little handheld polisher that we're going to use, and we're just going to give that a go over the surface to lift any remaining dirt and give a bit of a shine back into the colour and the enamel here. Just work it all over. Battery. Oh, typical. I'll just show you a close-up here, and you can see there's plenty of gloss there still. There's actually some lines there from when it was made. That's not me, but you can see that the enamel here wants a bit of a polish. There's some sort of marks on there still, but it's not scratched and scuffed from the wire wool at all. It's just taken all the dirt off the surface and left us behind the original finish. People will say, oh, but doesn't that scratch? Well, yes, you can scratch it. You can scratch very easily anything. So you do have to be careful. Practice makes perfect, as the old saying goes. So there we are, one enamel sign. Let's hold it up again. There we go. Compared that to before we started, I think you'll agree we've got something that's far more desirable and much more displayable as well.